everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here. They're earned. New stories are ready. And new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
Good afternoon and welcome to the AO Arena here in Manchester. It's Cup Finals Day in the SLB. Two of the best teams in the country ready to collide in what should be another epic encounter. The London Lions, fresh off their trophy final win last month, arrived with one thing on their mind: winning everything in sight and cleaning the plate this season. But Manchester basketball, this is their moment. They're at home, the crowd behind them, and they've already shown they can beat this London team. They've proven they're not afraid of a Lion. So we are set for more SLB drama this afternoon. It's the London Lions against Manchester basketball for the SLB Cup Final, and we are live with you for all of the action. Welcome to the floor. I'm Drew Lasker, and right alongside of me is the queen of British basketball, Azania Stewart. Z, you and I have covered many men's finals. Not in Manchester.
Yeah, not in Manchester. This has all the right ingredients to be a fantastic final. I said in the women's game earlier, it was Great Britain versus USA the last time I was in here, and Kobe Bryant was on this floor. So much basketball history and love in this city.
We're going to hit the northern quarter after this tonight. London Lions, they have been on a mission and vocal about a clean sweep so far this year, fresh off a trophy win against Newcastle last month, and a win today puts them right in the driver's seat.
Yeah, you know, they have been. There's so much depth with this London Lions team coming off a Eurocup. Maybe a little bit of disappointment. They didn't get out of the group stage, but there's so many weapons for this team.
But there is one little problem. Manchester basketball has kind of had their number this season.
Yeah, you know, they've beaten them twice, and this is go on. It's so much here, and you know, both teams don't want to lose. This was the loss the other day, 71-72. London Lions were up 14 points, and Manchester rallied back, and you can see how much it means to both these teams. It's going to be an exciting one, maybe a little bit of a tussle. And there's the 3 scores from the last time they played.
It's about to go down. This Manchester team reminds me of that Cheshire team from 24.
Yeah. They're not scared. They're willing to, you know, step up. And, you know, what I like about them is that they're aggressive. They take the first punch. This will be a heavy fight. And I'm excited for this one. I've been waiting all weekend.
Well, that was the appetizer. Let's get to the main course. The London Lions have been in control all season, but they've shown a few cracks lately. They won the trophy last month, and they are still hungry for a little bit more. Let's check out their road to the final.
They're a really good team, but I feel like we're better. I feel like we match up better. We have better players. We have, you know, better coaching staff. I feel like we're just better overall, and they know that as well. But you know, we're gonna go out there, execute, and you know, just show them that, you know, we're the better team. It's a big challenge, but I feel like, you know, we're all for it. We're gonna bring our fans. We're gonna bring, you know, our 15, 16 guys that we have, and we're gonna go up there and you know, fight. It's not gonna be easy, but you know, we're gonna fight, and we're gonna come back with the win.
It's a privilege to play finals. Doesn't matter where, you have to play it somewhere. There's always a venue, you know. So for us, it's just to come in, understand the game plan, understand what we want, and be ready to play possession after possession and be mentally tough. 2 teams playing against each other. They won 2, we won 1, ready for a finals, you know. And we just got to be ready to play against a good team in a finals, which again, it's a privilege to play finals, so we just have to do our job and be ready to execute the game plan.
Playing in Manchester for the Cup Final definitely adds a bit of a challenge. It's not so much a neutral court, as they kind of have home court advantages in their home city, but we're the underdogs in this one. We played 3 games, we lost 2, so yes, kind of a different twist to it. Remember that feeling that we felt in the Copper Box when they beat us, how upset we were, how mad we were, how disappointed we were in ourselves for allowing them to win that game as well.
I feel like we're on the right path. as a team going uphill right now. I feel like we had a lot of ups and downs earlier, but we're all warriors. I know everyone out there on the court and on our team will do anything to help our team win. Like Coach said, we have to always throw the first punch and go out there and play as hard as we can, execute the game plan. But all our teammates are warriors, so we're gonna go and fight for each other.
Shundi Brown, talk is cheap. Wow. And production is expensive.
Yeah, he says we are better all across the board. It's a northern versus a southern battle. Can London show that they're not southern fairies, is what they call us down south? But here, for me, Brown, I also got to have him on the London Lions podcast, and he talked about his time with LeBron James and how much that meant for him to see an excellent player. And he kind of reminds me of him, his ability to run through passing lanes, his strength, how he gets downhill. Look at that, finishes at the rim, can also stretch the floor. He's an excellent player. But there's his stats, thank you, 13 points. But there's nobody in multiple figures in London Lions, saying 20 points. With those weapons, it could be Brown, it could be anyone this evening who could go off.
And Brown is one of those guys that you don't have to run any plays for. You look at the scoreboard and he has 15 points.
You give him the ball and you say, go ahead.
Yeah, but London Lions gonna have to get things done on defense. Have only given up 90 points one time this season. That was against Manchester Basketball.
It is indeed. And Manchester, I said, is their defense. I love how aggressive they go, and they match the physicality to London Lions. They're not afraid to punch first. I've said that, but I'm looking forward to it. I think the energy is so high in here. You feel it?
I feel it. I feel it in my bones. Lions with the #1 defense in the league. They say numbers don't lie, but neither does this man's impact. Earlier on today, Alex Duffel got a chance to catch up with last year's MVP, Aaron Rye.
Aaron, the trophy's already in the bag. Is the fact that you've got a potential season here with multiple trophies the biggest motivation for this group right now?
Yeah, but also, we're trying to take it one game at a time. We've had these guys a couple times and they got the best out of us, especially at home. So we know what a tough opponent it is. We're just trying to focus on the moment here itself and not make it bigger than that.
Yeah, you mentioned you've had Manchester a couple of times, including that last game at the Cough Box. Things got a little bit heated at the end between the two sides. Is that going to bring a little bit of extra spice to today's game?
For sure. I mean, it's a final, so we're going to play hard regardless. But knowing that we can even the score with them tonight and as well at their place. So, yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned it's at their place. Obviously, probably a Manchester heavy crowd. How do you guys deal with what is going to be quite a hostile crowd?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it in other cities around here, and then obviously in the Euro Cup, we see some big crowds, so it's nothing new for us. We're just going to focus on playing together, playing within ourselves. We got a bunch of guys and a bunch of support here from our fans that we'll lean on.
Aaron, best of luck today.
That was Aaron Rye, and see, he even gave you that dunk you asked for earlier.
I've asked for Aaron Rye to step up multiple times, and as there's the crowd that have travelled for London, and I just feel like he hasn't really found his notch in this team. He's averaging just under 5 points, where he's been averaging double digits at London last season and the Cheshire the season before. But what he does have is that experience in the finals.
Yeah, must keep your eyes on him. Well, we've heard the talk from the London Lions, but one thing we know about Manchester basketball, they ain't gonna back down from anybody. So let's take a look at their journey to the final.
When I got here, it kind of been an up and down season last year, but we were able to finish strong. I feel like we created a buzz around the city a little bit and created some momentum of a tide turning, a narrative changing in Manchester for basketball, and I feel like this year's team has really taken off with it, and hopefully we continue doing that going forward. Especially just this being our second year with a new organization with Manchester basketball. It's a great opportunity for us to continue to have a strong foundation and build off of it.
Yeah, the guys showed resilience. We were in the pivotal moment of our growth as a team in the season, and it was once we were able to beat Bristol, it really showed that these guys were playing for something, and they showed a lot of toughness to get here. I think that this team, when they're playing for something, there's an extra motivation, and I never talked about exactly what we're playing for because I'm a one game at a time coach, but you could see it in these guys that they're playing for something extra during these games.
I feel like it's been a good season for us. We've definitely had to deal with some injuries on our team, so I feel like guys have been able to step up. We kind of had a next man mentality, which has been great for us. I feel like as the season's going on, we've definitely had a good chemistry. Guys have come together. And I feel like one of our goals this year too was the Cup final. We knew it was here in Manchester, so be able to have that on the 22nd, good opportunity for us. We're looking good. I feel like we have some momentum too. We've had a strong start to us coming out of the FIBA break, which has been good. And I feel like we have a lot of momentum going into the game on Sunday.
Trust each other, trust your work, do what you've been doing. You know, there's been a lot of growth this season in the locker room, and just go out there and enjoy it and have fun. You know, this is why we play, and it's a pleasure to be a part of it. So just go out there and be yourself.
Well, there is a buzz in the AO Arena, and Z, if Manchester is somehow able to pull off a win, how will this elevate this organization?
Oh, for sure. You know, to the next level. They've shown they've done it in the championship, but can they do it when the lights are bright? Can they show up? Can they handle the pressure? But pressure creates diamonds, baby.
Well, speaking of lights, big moments, you need big-time players. Who? Max Jones.
Max Jones, indeed. Coming up from D2 from University of Tampa, then to Kansas, into his rookie season, only 23 years old. He is playing like a grown man, not afraid of the lights at all. I feel like he's top scored, and every time he's played London Lions, he does a bit of everything.
Yeah, he can get downhill with that left hand. He's so shaky. And like you mentioned, he's a guy that started off in the mud and climbed himself all the way up to the Big 12. You see the numbers there?
Yeah, and he's top 5 in SLB scoring, 17 points with those couple rebounds, but the assists as well, just under 3 assists. So when he is struggling to score, drop off a dime to his teammates.
Well, when Manchester needs a bucket here tonight, they know who they can call on. Max Jones, averaging 21 points against London Lions so far this season. Early on, Alex got a chance to catch up with him.
Max, you got a cup final here in Manchester, basically a home final for you guys. Will it mean so much more if you can win it in front of your home fans?
Yeah, most definitely. I can see that the fans definitely showed up for us. It'll definitely help us get this win. It'll definitely be good.
You've had more rest days than London coming into this. They got taken to overtime by Surrey in midweek. Will that little bit of extra fatigue in their legs maybe help you guys?
Nah, I mean, we didn't really have that many rest days. We worked hard in practice. We went after it. We were going at it. We were battling. We're definitely going to take it out on them right today. So yeah.
Look, we saw a great game between these two teams a couple of weeks ago down at the Cop Box. You guys came out on top. London are going to be out for revenge here. Is there a little bit of a rivalry starting to become between these two teams?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't really talk about it. I'm about that action, so I'm going to go out there and do my thing.
Max, best of luck out there.
Well, we are less than 22 minutes from tip. The stage is set. You see the players behind me. They are ready to rumble. And it's only one last thing to do. That is to pass you to our commentary crew. Of course, Azania Stewart and the voice of British basketball, Dan Rowledge.
Thank you very much, Drew. As he pointed out, it's the first time we've ever had a major final in British basketball here at the AO Arena, but we're only 11 days away from the 27th anniversary of one of the great moments in British basketball, when in this building a league title was won. Today it is a cup championship, as Manchester, the new team, going up against the dominant team of the London Lions. Here's the starting 5 for Manchester basketball. They've kept the same starting 5 for the last 5 games. That's the longest streak of consistency, and it's also the most used starting 5 for Coach Otten this season. At the other end of the floor, the London Lions, they've had 22 different starting 5s in only 28 games. He shuffles the pack, but we now see the same starting 5 once again for the 4th game in a row. That's not happened at all season. Coach Abonis has found some consistency in his starting lineup here, Z.
Yeah, and I actually spoke to Coach, and he spoke about how he likes to keep his players on their toes, and that's why he changes up the starting lineup. But recently, like you said, that consistency, they can build and get themselves going early.
Well, it is interesting because they have been talking their talk. They've mentioned the word clean sweep. Not many teams do that when only one is in the cabinet. Some don't even do it when they've won all three. They put it out into the ether. But you see, suddenly, Cam McGusty is back. Yeah. Everybody's starting to look healthy. They've got the same starting five week after week. It looks like a team that is gearing up for this stretch run.
Yeah, and, you know, I did a lot of their Euro Cup games, and I was just waiting for them to finally get healthy. They never did. You never got to see the full team and the roster, London Lions, healthy. But like you said, McGusty's back, Ovi Soko's back, Joel Scott. They picked up Jordan Williams as well. So some really nice pieces, but they know how hard this is going to be. They've lost to Manchester twice. They know it's not going to be easy.
At the other end of the floor, Manchester, by the way, already out there waiting for London, who are taking their time. Manchester not quite fully healthy. Kayem Cleary, the local boy who would have had this circled on his calendar at the start of the season. They got to the final. He's not healthy enough to play. That is a blow for them because the other starting lineup that was pretty consistent included him.
Yeah, and for Manchester, I just think they need to get out early, punch first. They've got to score all the easy baskets. They can't afford any, you know, little bunnies or chippings around the basket. They've got to knock down those shots.
Well, London on the scoreboard are the home team, but the postcode and the supporter base will tell you otherwise. It is Manchester heavy. There's a good contingent up from London, but this will be almost like a home game for Manchester. Ball is up and we are underway in the 2026 Super League Basketball Cup Final, and it is Manchester who get the opening offense. Irvin back to Smith. Smith chased all the way out to the halfway line. Late shot clock now. Smith fires up the three. It's off left. There's a push on the rebound by Price, and that'll be a Manchester ball. It's good defense from London to make it a difficult shot, but Nicholson's size in there, even for somebody as big as Price, is the challenge. Here's Jones. First touch of the ball for him. He's going to let it fly off the mark. This time Phillip grabs the ball for London. Phillip pushing hard. Phillip is fouled by Adatu Cassie. It's on the floor. The basket won't count.
Just going back to that defensive possession there for London Lions, you can see how they're defending Max Jones. They hard hedge, big defense, throwing two players at him, getting the ball out of his hands. On the other end, they get the stop, they transition down.
Here's Phillip. Back to Brown. Reynolds at the free throw line. He loves that shot, but it's a good hand from PJ Smith to make it difficult. Adatu Cassie gets to the baseline, but forced to stop. Oh, his pass is thrown away. It's straight to Reynolds. Reynolds running it back, slows it down. Oh, he blows the layup, though, and Manchester get it back. Still, we await the first score. Adatu Cassie, corner three, back iron.
Well, both teams, you know, all good looks. Maybe, I wouldn't say nerves, but just got to settle into the game, you know.
Well, the noise for the defense is obvious who most of the fans are supporting, that's for sure. Here's Brown. Shot clock low. Phillip has to get it away. Phillip for three. First points are on the board.
Yeah, Phillip, I've seen that multiple times. He just can really fill it up, and when you need a basket, he's good to call on.
Adatu Cassie getting it to Nicholson. Too strong on the layup. Brown pushing the other way. Phillip's going to let it fly again, as he knows. He was open enough. The pass isn't great, but it comes out to Reynolds. There will be a three in the corner. There's a foul as well, as Nicholson ran over Joel Scott.
Here's Tariq Phillip moving off the ball, coming up. Beautiful release and knocks it down. He's their veteran piece, right?
He is. I always think it's interesting, that foul by Nicholson. Not many people can run Joel Scott over like that.
Yes,
I think that was a show of strength as much as anything else. Here's Reynolds. He loves the shot at the top of the key.
Well, you did say that, and he knocks that second one down, missed the first. But this is why I like this matchup between London and Manchester. I think they, you know, pound for pound, player for player, match up so well.
Here's Smith. Manchester still looking for their first score. Caught the air ball, Nicholson. So no reset at the shot clock. Jones has to be quick here. Fires up the three. Back iron. Another offensive rebound, Nicholson. Manchester still trying to get on the board. 2.5 minutes in. Added to Cassie. Bumped. Doesn't quite go, but he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
And really, Nicholson, fantastic job on the offensive glass, crashing, giving them multiple possessions. That's what you need. This is a good drive. Tough, takes the bump. We'll go to the line for 2.
Nicholson really has developed into an important piece as the season has gone on. But going up against Ethan Price, that is a natural matchup for him as well.
That's what I was talking about. You know, both teams from the post to the guards. It's excellent.
There's 1 or 2 teams in the league. He's having to chase the centers all the way out to the three-point line. He'd be happy to bang against Price.
Yeah, it's true. The way the game has changed with your post players stretching the floor, being able to shoot the three. You're right about that, Dan.
Price does do a little bit of that, though, so you've got to go all the way out to him. Reynolds. Into the key, creates some room, a little short, rebound Irvin. Jones, Smith, backs away for 3. PJ Smith gets the first field goal of the game for Manchester.
That's big in that lovely rhythm, the step back to create the space.
Speed from Phillip getting to the rim.
And Phillip says, anything I can do, you can do better.
Irvin out and front, lazy at home. Speed from Manchester.
Oh, the answer right back. They're celebrating on that Phillip score, but don't transition defense. That's going to be important.
Yeah, it's not often London get beat down the floor like that. Normally they'd commit a foul if they could, but they couldn't get anywhere near the ball.
That's
Will
so
that
true.
count? I don't think that shot's going to count.
That's so true, Dan. Just going back to how Sabonis there he is, how he coaches. He likes to use those team fouls in those transition points.
There's a cut, I think. A big cut on the eye of Nicholson
wow.
as he walks out of the game. But you can see how quick Manchester were down court, beating London for the layup, but Nicholson will have to get that. There's a lot of blood. He'll have to get that sorted. So Gabe Ossaboyan coming in early. I think Gabe has a huge role to play if Manchester are to win this game.
Yeah, for sure. He's got to do the little things.
Ovi Soko into the game as well. Reynolds to Brown. Brown for 3. Off the mark. Soko on the glass. Phillip trying to feed it to Soko, but it bounced off Ossaboyan and Manchester come away with it. Oh, Smith too quick for the ball there. Phillip comes the other way and Smith commits the foul in transition.
Yeah, Smith Jr. not happy with himself. Kind of got caught up in his own handles. Too quick for himself.
Phillip will sit down for the first time. He's got 5 of London's 7 points as Cam McGusty checks in. Here comes Jordan Johnson as well.
Well, London Lions had I don't know what you want to call it, just an epidemic, I don't know, of hand injuries. They had 3 guys, Ovi, McGusty, they all hurt their hands, either a broken bone or a ligament, so good for them to be back in.
Reynolds off the mark from the elbow. Added to Cassie using his speed, is fouled by Soko, who points to the floor just to make sure the referee's not giving any shots for that. But it is the team's 3rd foul, so sideline ball. Here's Johnson. Soko trying to stay in front of Johnson. Not easy to do. He's quick. He's shifty. He gets past Soko, he gets bombed, and that will go. Basket is good. Jordan Johnson going to the line for one.
What a good job from Johnson. Just took his time, brought out Ovi Soko away from the basket, and then drives. Here it is. See, just trying to find that lane. And he gets bumped.
It was Reynolds trying to fight around Ossaboyne on the other end of that mismatch, who bumped him. Can't convert the free throw. Manchester's first lead of the game here, 9-7. Foul off the ball for the hold. Added to Cassie.
And he has to stay out of foul trouble. He's got to
second.
Yeah, he's got to stay on the floor, and he has to come out.
Duke Shelton into the game for the first time. One of the few guys in this lineup with some silverware already to his name. Won the playoff final with Leicester last year. They do have depth at the center spot, but interestingly, they're going with both Ossaboyne and Shelton at the same time because Ada Tukassi's on 2 fouls, so presumably it'll be Ossaboyne at the 4 spot. It's a fairly big lineup given that Irvin's on the floor, you've got Jones at the 2.
Really big. But then also Scott and Soko are on the floor as well, so they will match up with them.
Well, London against most teams do have size, positional size if you like. They seem to be bigger than everybody at the respective positions. Johnson with a little step back 3, not quite. Scott with the rebound. Collision off the ball. Duke Shelton and Ovi Soko involved in it. Not 2 guys who ever back down from anything much.
Never. And we said it at the top of the broadcast, you know, both these teams do not back down. And it was played up. Both, well, London Lions said, we're better than Manchester, we're here to win. And Manchester said, no, you're in our city, you got to go through us to win and race that cup trophy.
Well, Chaundy Brown will sit down as Aaron Rychet. So what did you make of Chaundy Brown's comments in our pre-game there, saying we're better than them, outright saying it?
Yeah, outright saying it is full of confidence, but also you've lost twice to them. Yeah. So on paper, you're not better than them. Do you know what I mean? But what he's trying to say is how their team is built and what they've done, but it doesn't matter. It's a final. You tie up your shoelaces the same way, and you've got to come out and earn the win.
Well, Ovi misses them both. Here's Jones trying to muscle his way to the basket. McGusty knocking him to the floor. And that will be free throws for Max Jones. A chance for him to get on the board. He's yet to score in the game. Well, Dean Williams, who started many a game for Manchester this season, but what is he now? That's the 9th man into the game.
Yeah.
He was the MVP, of course, in
in the trophy
final.
Yeah, that was a tough call for me.
It was a difficult call, to be fair. There was no like standout MVP numbers.
No. This is the way the Lions play, you know. Simonis goes deep into his bench, he rotates multiple times as Jones gets on the board.
The amount of games you watch London this season and you see they get 84 points, 87 points. The top scorer has 13 because there's 7 or 8 different scorers.
Yeah, and Simonis isn't afraid to pull a guy. You know, their string was very short at times where if you make a mistake, you're out, you're on the bench, and then you have to, you know, wait your turn.
Well, both coaches have gone way into the benches already.
Well, you kind of have to, right? Because the tempo of the game, the style of the game.
Yeah. I mean, just sometimes in finals, coaches shorten that rotation a bit, but we've seen 9 guys in on both teams. Great hustle from Ossaboyne to keep it in. Shelton is down court. Shelton goes for the jam. It's not there, though. Oh, McGusty surely traveled with it. No, it's an offensive foul. Well, his feet were moving, and I thought they were originally going to call a travel, but the charge is worse for London because that's going to be the 2nd foul on him.
I did think that was a travel before the charge. A great
let's have a look at this. I mean, Duke would have been pulling the house down if this had gone in. You could see him celebrating that with some gusto.
But Magusti has to come out of the game. He's got 2 fouls.
Here's Jones. Ossaboyan looking to put it on the floor to the spin move. What a finish from Gabe Ossaboyan.
Wow, beautiful. Had Mo Salawade in a spin cycle.
Here's Williams. Just couldn't quite corral the ball. Well, Ossaboyan is usually a facilitator, doesn't really look to attack like this as often as he can, but I mean, he's a great offensive talent when he wants to be.
Yeah, stunning move, honestly. Would have liked the left hand finish, but a score is a score. Strong hand is the right hand.
You've got your coaching hat on there.
I do. Can't help myself. But Williams, this for me, I think, has been the consistent piece for the Lions. You know, they've had so many injuries, so many guys be out, but he's just been a lovely player that you can rely on.
He certainly has been, I think, their leader this year. And as you say, if they'd had Joel Scott started the season amazingly well before he got injured. Gusty was playing well. He could have maybe been somewhere else, but he's been there every game and very consistent. Here's Jones. Jones steps for 3, off the mark for Max Jones. Still looking for his first field goal of the game, 0 for 3. Salawade. Oh, Williams sort of lost it, able to recover. Trying to go to work on Gabe Ossaboyan. That's one of the best defensive players in the league you're attacking there. And Ossaboyan wins that battle.
Wow, and you can see how much it means to him. I love when a player roars on the defensive end. Look how he's moving his feet, keeping his hands out, and then comes down and gets the steal as the ball rolls off of Dean Williams. Excellent defense.
He was a Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. You don't win that by accident. He's definitely a roarer on defense. Speaking of defense, look at the hustle there, but they've still got it. There's a big collision there. And Ossaboyan has hurt himself. Bang of the head. I think he ran into Ovi's shoulders, did he? Let's have another look on the replay. Once the ball goes loose, body's flying. Ooh, yeah. Just smashed into Ovi, and well, Ovi knows his way around the weight room, so it's going to be a big collision if you hit him.
He does. Well, he's up. I'm glad to see that, but that's tough. And remember Nicholson as well. He got hit in the eye, so
we seem to be still working on Nicholson over on the side, although it looks to be more that they're sorting out his leg out or something. They seem to, there's something going on over there. But he obviously had that huge cut early on around the eye area. Johnson steps away. Johnson splashes another 3.
And Johnson, that mismatch where you would think is a problem, but he finds a way. Need to go a little bit smaller right now, London Lions.
Well, they are, because as you say, they switch everything, and Johnson is so shifty.
And here he is. And he just takes his time and just finds that little bit of space. He only needs a second. Look at that, creates the space and splashes it in.
Second foul on Duke Shelton. And Nicholson, have they changed his shirt? I think that was part of the thing as well.
A blood kit is what we call it.
Yeah, must have had blood on the shirt as well. So he's returned, but he's wearing number 4. He's lost the 3 out of his 34, hasn't he? Phillip at the free throw line gets London into double figures.
And out of everything, you know, Tariq Phillip, there's not many faults in his game, but the free throw line is somewhere where He just struggles a little bit, so he's knocked that first one down. Can he go 2 for 2? Big.
Does make them both.
78%?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I wasn't going to say it, Z. Here's Johnson. Here's Johnson. Trying to find some room. Getting into the key. Off the mark. Dean Williams skying for the rebound. Right, out to Price, moves it on to Williams, relocates for 3, that's off the mark. Ossaboyan again to the spin and the flip. Not quite, ball is loose. Solowadi comes up with it. Oh, knocked away. Oh, I had that there. If it hadn't hit the effects mic, I was ready for that shot.
Did you catch it?
It was coming my way, it just got deflected.
One job.
Nah.
It's your time to shine.
I know. I could have been on telly. Kane Henry into the game for the first time. Another one for Manchester, whose season has been curtailed a little bit by injury issues, but he's made it back just in time to get some minutes here in the final. 8-second violation, but it wasn't even 8, it was 10. The problem was the ball went out of bounds, and of course that doesn't reset the shot clock, and they just ambled it across court, and actually it got to 14. So that's at least 9 seconds gone.
So that turnover,
yeah.
Can Manchester execute on this play after that turnover?
Johnson gets his man up in the air, draws the foul, and heaves it at the rim. And that's the problem, because they're worried about him shooting the ball. You've got to jump for that. And he's said, thank you very much, I'll take 3 free throws.
Yeah, well, Solowadi is clearly way bigger, taller. Just have your hand there, don't leave the floor. And Johnson is just too smart. As soon as Mo Solowadi is up in the air, he's shooting into him. Very high IQ play.
I came into this game and I was thinking, for Manchester to win, they need the 3 guards to get like 55, 60 points between them.
Absolutely.
And Jordan Johnson has been the hottest of the 3 so far.
Oh, I was going to say a little bit of a slower offensive game for both, you know, but Manchester's starting to get themselves going. Manchester averaged 87 points in the championship season. London Lions just under 83. And now they're starting to get themselves going.
Well, led by Jordan Johnson, who is the game's top scorer now after those free throws with 8. Solowadi just too far out of reach for Williams, and Manchester will get the ball back.
And that's
Manchester, look at this, 10 points to 1 off the bench. We talk about London's depth, it's Manchester's reserves who've done it here in the first quarter.
Absolutely, but also that's another turnover for London Lions, not even a look at the basket.
Little step back from Smith, front iron on that. Phillip will keep it in play. Price is down court. They're looking towards his direction, but Williams has it now. Williams against Henry. Right, back to Price. Good little pump fake. Misses the layup though, and Irvin with the rebound. 45 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Manchester with the lead. Johnson step away, that's off the mark. There's Nicholson again on the glass. Recycles out to Henry, his 3 doesn't go. Nicholson with 3 offensive rebounds in the first quarter, despite being on the bench with a big cut on his eye.
Manchester into a bit of a zone here, Dan.
Just to discombobulate them, it seems to have worked. Williams to the spin, thrown away. Time here for Manchester to go the other way. Irvin has it, Smith wants it in the corner. Smith for three. And it's tipped away by Phillip. Good job it was too, because Nicholson was there to tip it home. A great first quarter. And you can see Coach Matthew Orton very happy with the way his team have started this ball game. Took a couple of minutes for that offense to go, but they certainly did go, and they lead by 8 at the end of the opening period. 11 points to 19, Z.
Yeah, and 6 turnovers from London Lions, and Manchester able to score off of those turnovers as well. There's their shooting percentage, shooting 43% from the 2-point strike. The 3-point line, not that kind to
well,
either
let's ignore the top line of 27% and 25%. Not the best shooting game we've ever seen. But Manchester have kept it going. They've got a little bit to the free throw line. They've also got offensive rebounds just to wear London down as much as anything. But both teams will want to see the shooting numbers go northwards as the game goes on.
Yeah, and we talked about the guards, right? And Jordan Johnson with those 8 points in that first quarter. I thought he was very, very good. On the other side is Tariq Phillip. He stepped up into that offensive hit, and he has 7 points.
Well, you talked about the points per game average. Manchester second in the league in scoring. London number 1 in the league in terms of points allowed. It feels to me like actually Manchester's way of winning is to get up in the high 80s, is to get somewhere near their average, because London tend not to play at that pace and tend to score lower as a result.
Yeah, well, the offensive rebounding is definitely going to help them. Nicholson doing a good job, but it's their pace as soon as they get a rebound. But even, you remember when London scored and Manchester got it up and in and answered right back. That's fantastic. That's how you combat that scoring.
Well, Jordan Johnson with 8 points in the first quarter, 8 points in 6 minutes off the bench. Yeah, that fast break that you referred to would have made LaQuincy Rideau proud. I can see him on the baseline. And in the end, London are attacking.
He's in the house.
In the house watching the game. He'd rather be out there.
Yeah, he does come in and watch the finals. Also Nixon from Sheffield.
Yeah.
He likes a couple finals.
That's knocked away. Great hustle diving on the floor from Henry. Oh my goodness, what a sensational play. And Manchester gets some points out of it. And more worryingly for London, Scott is clutching his ankle on the floor in a lot of pain.
Gosh.
Henry is a bit slow to his feet as well.
Well, Henry absolutely did a Superman dive and flying to hustle for that ball, and he kind of lands on Scott's ankle. Let's have a look here. Look at this. And he just gets his foot stuck under Henry.
Well, Scott has tried to walk it off, but he's really hobbling, and he's going to have to come out of the game. And obviously a guy who's missed a lot of time through injury this season.
And he started off the season just wonderfully, honestly.
There's LaQuincy on the baseline. Of course, he was a member of that Cheshire team a couple of years ago that upset London in the trophy final, was a teammate alongside Aaron Rye, now of the London Lions, one of the all-time great upsets in British basketball history. And well, Manchester winning this game wouldn't quite be at the level of that, but it would certainly be an upset to most.
100% an upset, but still I think that confidence of beating London Lions twice, you can see it, the energy that they've brought out here. They're leading the game 11-21. Here's our leading scorers, Phillip and Johnson. But just going back to Joel Scott, Dan, you know, I felt like nobody could guard Scott at the beginning of the season. There was no answer for him. Then he goes down with that hamstring and just has struggled to get himself back on pace and healthy. And so that's really unfortunate for him.
I actually commentated on Lions' first game of the season, and I was like, this guy is the MVP right here, because he was just bullying people out of the way in the low post, he was hitting threes for fun, and I think he had 25 points or something in his first 2 games, and was shooting 75% or something crazy like that.
And he's only 24.
Yeah.
He's young, you know. He looks a bit older than he is, but there he is. And EJ, the physio, will have to see to him. You can see he's in a fair bit of pain there. And they're going to retape it. That's going to be sore.
Well, there was some blood on the floor as well as all of that, which is why we had a stoppage in play.
There's Mullings. Earlier on, the women's game.
Yeah.
Sheffield.
The dynasty continues for the Sheffield Hatters, and they are, we talk about London looking for the sweep. Sheffield as well, on the women's side of it, have that possibility still with the first 2 in the bag.
Yeah, they dominated earlier on today.
Phillip up in the air, gets it back from Price. 7 on the shot clock. Phillip snaking his way, gets the shot up, it's a little high. There's Nicholson absolutely hoovering everything up on the glass.
Gosh.
6 rebounds already from Matt Nicholson. Johnson with the speed, and he's got 10.
Johnson's having fun right now and forces London Lions into a timeout.
Coach Bonus needs a stoppage, and well, I guess the worrying thing from their perspective, Azania, is Manchester are up double figures. They've only scored 23. London are on a point a minute. They're trending towards 40.
It's been the last couple of possessions, 4 possessions without even a shot or a look, and or anyone crashing the boards here. He's just having fun with it, isn't it? That's the third?
Yeah.
One-on-one?
The thing is that obviously they switch everything, London. They always tend to do that. But on the switches, he's like, I've got mismatches all day, I'm going to keep going. And that is part of the reason why he's got 10 points, because, you know, they switched Ovi onto him and he managed to get some points out of that. They switched Ryan onto it that time. He was able to get to the rim.
You can see it. You can see the energy in this Manchester team. They called for the fight and they are come out here and then playing fantastically in this first half. He'll sit down, great minutes from him, honestly. The way he creates space and then he gets into the defense, it's so hard to guard.
Well, I think the London fans will be happy to see him sitting on the bench.
That's the way you can stop him. Look at this, wonderful scenes here in the AO Arena.
Bongo Cam is on the big screen, which is why everybody's imaginary playing the drums. So what have London got coming out of that timeout? They kind of need a score. They haven't been able to get it going here in this ball game at the offensive end. They've not scored since 2:37 to go, and they still don't come up with a score.
Excellent defense. How long they've been going?
Well, obviously, I'm just looking for the last field goal they made. I can't find the last field goal they made. It's all been free throws, London. I don't think they've scored a field goal since 3 minutes into the game. I think everything else has been free throws.
Look at that hustle play down.
Great hustle. Added to Cassie. He went for the big jam. Osaboyan trying to put it back. Saved. Great work. It's going to be a Manchester ball.
And right now, Manchester are everywhere. They've got guys flying, hustling. Who wants it more here? The ball slips out, chokes out again, and attacks the rim. Misses that, but again, the offensive rebound. Extra possessions wins the games.
Well, another timeout called. Yes, confirmed now.
Okay.
The last London field goal was at the 6:43 mark in the first quarter. They led 7-5 at that point. They haven't made a shot from open play since then. Everything else has been free throws. It's incredible.
And two different teams right now, right? Manchester have come in, and maybe also, do you hear those talks of Brown Jr. earlier on saying, we're better, we're this, we're that? A little bit of disrespect.
You know, the other thing that surprised me about it, not only, I don't have any problem with his confidence in him and his teams and saying they're better, but he said they know that as well. And that was the one that caught I was like, ooh, they know that. We're a better team, we're better coaches, and they know that. I'm sure the Manchester boys heard that and were like, all right, well, we'll see. We'll be on Sunday.
For me as a player, you don't need any juice than a final. You're going to wake up in the morning. I even woke up this morning feeling so excited. But as a player, you know what's on the line. But then you've got a team trash talking.
Yeah.
Oh, just add it in the pot and mix it all up.
And a team you're 2-1 up against as well in the season series. Interesting. We'll see how it plays out. He might be the MVP by the end. You never know. Oh, Wasserboyan taking it right into the chest of Ovi Soko, and the foul is going to go against him, his second.
Tough call here. Let me have a look.
Yeah, I see what you mean. In real time, I thought it was a foul, but there's some contact, and his arms are straight up.
Thought it was a little out of control, but either way, he gets himself to the line.
He isn't the best free throw shooter on Manchester's team, it's fair to say, Gabe Wasserboyan. Wrong side of 50-50. And he goes 0 for.
But still, no score from the Lions here. This is an emergency offensive play for me. And they've gone back into that zone, Dan.
You just need to see the ball go through the hoop. McGusty trying to do that. That's off the mark as well. And a foul called against Wasserboyan. That's going to be number 2 on him. I immediately looked to the bench to see. I think Wasserboyan is so important to them. They don't want him to get in foul trouble. He has had his struggles at times this season with fouls. There is no movement. They're going to trust him out there.
Got to get the ball in.
Williams has it. He's in a bit of an awkward spot and he throws it away.
What a great double in that corner.
It's essentially a triple with the baseline. Smith goes past his man, lays it in, and 1. Once again, the guard showing the way to get to the rim.
Wow, and it started on the defensive end. They double-teamed Dean Williams, squeezed the ball out of his hands, and then here, the hesitation, the hit, and the finish. They are playing outstanding.
Well, Joel Scott, take that ankle up. He is back in the game. I'll be honest with you, when he went down, I didn't think he was coming back in the game, let alone coming back in a few minutes later. I assume they gave him some painkillers along the way. They need something, though. They need some offense from somewhere, because they were in a big hole right now. PJ Smith is going to get called for his second foul. So it's Smith added to Cassie and Shelton all on 2. Soko, that last foul was his 3rd, so that's why he's on the bench. Part of the reason why Scott's had to come back in. Rye. In the corner is Brown. It's all around the 3-point line for now. Phillip moves it on. Brown. Phillip fires the 3. Still, they can't get a field goal. Rye with the offensive rebound. Field goal shooting numbers are terrible. Here's McGusty. That one rims out.
Still can't get a bucket. They are stuck on 11.
Smith. Oh, that was a bit of a heat check, wasn't it? He's trying to land out knockout blows in the early stages of the second quarter, I think. London now 10 minutes since their last field goal went in. 10 minutes. Rye with the turnaround. Still it goes on. Out to Brown. Brown drives. That doesn't go. Can you believe it? Added to Cassie. Has it knocked loose, and Rye is able to come away with it. Maybe in transition can they get some points? They've got numbers. Here's Brown. Brown to the rim, finally. London, 10 minutes and 23 seconds between field goals.
Wow, and it took a mismatch of 5 on 4 to get the bucket.
Their first points of this quarter as well. Down to Ossaboyan. Ossaboyan underneath is Irvin. Back out to Ossaboyan. He's going to shoot the three. He had to shoot it with the shot clock winding down. He doesn't take too many threes, Gabe Ossaboyan. He's not made any this season either. Foul is called as Brown is on the deck.
Well, here it is. Augustine just takes his time, waits for Brown to come down, and that's a big fall.
It's one of those where the block is probably clean, but there's enough body contact for a foul.
Not many fouls have been called actually in the first 5 minutes. 2 to 3 for Manchester.
Well, both teams are trying to make sure they don't get to halftime with problems to deal with. Oh, Brown has yet to score. Sorry, he has got 2. He's got that last score, hasn't he? He makes the second. London 14, Manchester 26 here. Johnson again, shaking and baking and trying to find some room and spinning it up off the glass. Top finish for Jordan Johnson. He's got 12.
He's playing excellent. The way he's finding little slithers to the basket.
Nice pass, and Scott is underneath to lay it home, and there's going to be a timeout to Manchester with 5:16 to go, and Coach Otten doesn't want any momentum. He's seen 2 field goals in a minute, haven't gone 10 minutes without giving one up.
Yeah,
so he's called for a timeout, but Jordan Johnson is having himself a ball game. He's just finding every little seam, and he's only a couple of points, a couple of scores behind London in terms of his overall output. He's got 12.
Well, it's just this change of pace, isn't it? Kind of slows and lures the defense in the sand, and then just explodes to the rim, and just playing so well where also he's stretching the floor. He can shoot the 3, but he loves to get to the rim.
Well, 12. He's 4 points behind London as it stands right now. London have to find something here in this first half to get their offense going. But the one thing you would say, 28 from Manchester, it's not like it's lights out 15 minutes in.
No.
So if London can find a bit of rhythm, they haven't got a load to make up.
Yeah. Well, they held them Lions to 11 points there. It's probably one of their lowest scoring quarters. And that's what's been the struggle for the Lions. Who's going to step up? Who's going to find their rhythm in this cup final?
Well, it's a Manchester ball from the end line. London showing full court pressure here.
They got to do something.
Yep.
They need some momentum, yeah.
Momentum of the game, definitely. Johnson. Clock warning is coming. Oh, what a block! Joel Scott with the denial, and London come away with it.
Oh, stunning defense from Scott. Ankles just fine.
Well, he's going to feel that one for sure. He's not happy about it. 2 of them landed on him. There's a bit of conversation going on. Irvin is right above him. Scott was not happy at all.
Well, it started from the defensive end. Joel Scott, wonderful job, good timing, cleans up the glass. Here it is, behind the back, times that perfectly, pins it on the backboard, then he gets out to the races, and they foul him heavy.
Well, they were not giving him an easy score, I think it's fair to say, on that one. Well, just to answer your question of a moment ago, it ties London's lowest scoring quarter.
Thank you, Dan.
They had 11 against Bristol earlier this season. They also had 11 3 times in the Euro Cup, all in the second quarter, oddly enough.
Oh, Matthew Nicholson looks all banged up. He's got
like
a
It's almost like a headband, isn't it?
Yeah, headband.
He's channeling his Terry Butcher for those old enough, although without all the blood pouring from it. Here's Jones. Jones from the elbow. Short on that one. Max Jones still yet to make a field goal. McGusty spinning, fires, knocks it down.
That's pretty. That's really pretty.
Well, he is a guy who can definitely get the offense going for London.
And you can see the defense is turned up a little bit for the Lions, guarding full court.
Lob down to Nicholson, who goes through the contact for the and one, pounds the chest. The foul is against Joel Scott.
Even with the head wrap, headband, the cut to the eye, the and one. Good screen, old school pick and roll. Takes his time, gets the finish.
Well, that's the thing. They had to have to react quickly because they're going to get a close basket for sure. And he enjoyed it.
Great job from the band.
It's like he couldn't watch on the double team, but I thought he was going to airball that, Nicholson. Again, not his best skill set, free throw shooting.
Back to the zone though. They keep changing it up from man to man, keeping the Lions on their toes.
McGusty around the screen, goes to the corner. Brown flushed off the three-point line, takes the two instead.
That's a really good job from Brown. Snuck his way on that baseline in that zone.
Johnson, charging foul is called. Scott just got across in time.
Excellent job from Joel Scott. You can see he's turned it up, saying, come on. Gets there first.
Well, all the problems we've talked about for London, a score here would make it a 5 or 6 point game. Scott puts it on the floor, spins back, is fouled, and will go to the free throw line.
That's Nicholson's second. Second foul?
Yeah, it is. They've got a few of them on too. Smith, Jones, Irvin, Adetukasi, Shelton, Nicholson. London's only real foul trouble is Soko on 3. Scott rattles a little flat, that one. Rattles out. And that one goes. Again, London showing full court. They're trying to really get the ball out of Johnson's hands.
Here comes the double.
Johnson's in trouble, he's picked it up, needs to get across court here, Max Jones does. Max Jones around the screen, offensive foul is the call. Who's that on? It's on Nicholson.
And Joel Scott again in the way, gets barreled over, but it's the defense down on the other side. London Lions putting this massive pressure to speed Manchester up. You know, they put that full court press, they doubled there, they're making them move way quicker than they want to.
His third personal foul, and he's not happy as he goes off to the bench.
And that's big, right? Because he's been fantastic, especially on the rebounds. He has 6 rebounds this evening.
Well, 3:11 to go. If London got back level, which isn't out of reach here before halftime, I don't feel like it's a foul off the ball. I think it's going to be on Carey.
Yeah, if London can just, you know, weather the storm and get into halftime.
If they got level by halftime, could go in and they could say, well, they've thrown their best punch here.
Yeah.
Zach Irvin's going to return. Carey sits down. From the free throw line. 9 of London's 23 points have come from the free throw line. And this is the second, though. He might chase his own rebound down. No, Irvin gets there first. Again, Phillip doing a good job to make sure Johnson can't come get the ball. Oh, collision there. Jones and Osaboyan didn't quite have the same wavelength.
Yeah, can't afford that one. But you're right, Phillip is doing a great job, especially the way Johnson has come out in this first half with 12 points. He's denying him the ball.
McGusty tosses it up. Irvin with the rebound. Johnson out in front has Jones with him. Will take it himself. Goes up high off the glass.
That is an amazing finish, especially with Phillip in his face. Incredible. Wow.
Phillip. Brown wants it. He's got the size. They're trying to throw a double, but they're scared to help off McGusty, and that's why.
And that's a great job, because Manchester helped strong side. You never help strong side. Gives McGusty the wide open three.
Johnson, step away three. Jordan Johnson is on fire here in the final.
Honestly, he's been excellent here in the first half. Hasn't made many mistakes. That pushes him to 17 big points in the cup final.
Well, a sensational first half. He's got half of his team's offense, Jordan Johnson, and he is the one dragging them through right now. 2 minutes to go. 35-27, and we've seen everything he's got. I mean, this is an incredible finish in the open court. We've seen him hitting threes. We've seen him doing the herky-jerky, getting to the rim.
They're in and out. And yeah, for sure, he's shown his full arsenal of offense. Every time, nothing but net. He's definitely stepped up. And I've been waiting for a player like him to really highlight and go off in the finals. We haven't had a solid play like this, especially in the first half.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is by far and away the leading scorer in the game. This is a fascinating 2 minutes here, Z. If you think 2 minutes, we might get, what, 8 points, something like that, maybe? If London got all 8 of them and the scores were level, or if Manchester got all 8 of them and they were up big, it's such a different half-time.
Such a different,
you're right, team talk.
Especially going to London Lions when you struggled. What was it, 10 and a half minutes that it took them to score a bucket? Their last field goal was at 6 minutes and 43 in the first, and then they kind of got themselves going. It took them some time, but this is it. The game is 4 quarters, 2 halves, and sometimes it's ugly. And you just get to half-time and talk about it. Ride the wave.
Scott. Reynolds. Brown in the corner for 3. Got it!
Big. It's been the corners shots, right? Because of the zone, they're protecting the middle, but London Lions do a good job shifting the ball from one half to the other.
Well, the foul there by Dean Williams.
Yeah, fouls to give. Look, you see, one from one side to the other, no defense there, baiting Brown Jr. into shooting it.
Irvin set to inbound. 1:34 to go in the first half. Manchester with a lead of 5 points, having peaked out at 15 at one point. Here he is again, the man of the first half, Jordan Johnson. Leaves Williams on skates to take it to 19.
Hey! It's a party here in Manchester.
He has outscored all of his teammates combined. Scott floats one up and in for 2. Johnson behind the back pass to Ossaboyan. He's looking to attack. Gets himself into the paint and the foul is called on Shawnee Brown Jr., his second.
Look at this. Just having fun.
Well, you've been there, haven't you, in a mismatch with a little shifty guard going left and right.
I can't stand him. But, you know, when you've got a shorter guy like that, shout out to the Short Kings, first of all, but you got to keep your length and keep away from his feet. I would have my hand up, and if he goes past me, then I'll meet him at the rim, you know. But the way he's playing, it doesn't even matter what you do defensive. Yep. Multiple guys have been on him, and he's shown every single one that he can score on them.
Ossaboyan at the free throw line, went 0 for 2 on his first trip. And makes the second. Maybe an offense each left. London could get 2 if they go quick enough. Reynolds scoops it up but misses the layup. Reynolds keeps it in play, bounces it off Irvin, and it's going to be a London ball. There's a lot of conversation whenever the game stops, isn't there? Phillip for 3, front iron. Ball is loose and it's Ossaboyan who comes up with it, and Ossaboyan will walk the length of the floor for more free throws as Aaron Rye gets called for the foul.
First foul. Both teams over the limit.
Well, if you are going to foul somebody in that situation, that's the one guy on court you can probably live with. But ultimately, you don't want to give up a foul like that. McGusty is awaiting his return. So too is Brown coming in now. Ryan Reynolds will sit down. 21-19, tight second quarter. And a lot of offense, given how slow it was
to start the game.
Offensively, nice bounce there for Ossaboyan.
Yeah, it was 11-19 to start the game, and
but even like the first 5 minutes, it was like 5-all or something, wasn't it?
Bit of a struggle, but found their pace, and then Lions.
Oh, there you go. Ossaboyan tells me to shut up and makes both. Shot clock is off. McGusty, 10 on the clock now. Johnson trying to stay in front of him, spins one way then the other. Shot is off the mark, Scott gets it back up, doesn't go. Williams with the tip, ball is loose. Irving grabs it and we will call that a half. The London Lions trail Manchester basketball by 32 points to 40. It could have been worse for London, could have been better for that man and his team. They led by as many as 15, but London found a bit of rhythm in that second quarter to close the gap. But that was the half of Jordan Johnson with 19 first half points, and we can hear from him now.
Jordan, a really big first half, 19 points from yourself. You're having some real fun out there, but in terms of basketball offensively at the minute.
It's just, like you said, we're just having fun. We know the stakes of the game, and I missed last game, so I just felt like I should come out, try to help my team in the way I need, and right now it's points.
And defensively, at one point, I think you kept London 10 minutes without a single field goal. Everyone's putting their bodies on their line out there for you guys. You're thriving off this crowd as well.
Yeah, I just get all the props and credits to the coaches. They gave us a great film session, scout, and we just know once they're a great physical team, so we know if we kept them out the paint, we'll be fine.
Jordan, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, a sensational first half for Jordan Johnson, and he is the reason that they are in front at this stage in the game. He's got 19 of his team's 40 points, so basically half their offense in that first half. Shooting numbers have gone up a little bit, but they're still lower than average. Both teams struggling from behind the arc, although Manchester have taken a lot more. The rebounding has been a war out there. Everything has been a bit of a battle, but it is Manchester who are in control of this one here at the half. It is 32 points to 40 in favor of them. London with some work to do in the second half. Let's throw it back now over to the dynamic duo on the court side, Drew and Azania.
Thanks, Dan. Well. Sean D. Brown said they're better, and everyone knows it, but I don't think Jordan Johnson got that memo.
Yeah, 19 first half points. He's been fantastic, honestly, and keeping London Lions to 11 points in that first quarter. They came out with that energy. They heard that message from Brown, and they said, not today.
And I think he must have watched that game film of Terrell Burden of what he did to the London Lions defense there in the trophy. But I don't think I've seen a team that matches up physically with London. Nicholson just dominated the boards to set the tone.
Yeah, Nicholson, I thought, absolutely did a good job. But for me, it was even when Lions scored, Manchester got the ball out so quickly. Look at this, down the other end, and doing an excellent job. I think they've also done a good job on the defensive end, getting the ball out of their hands. It's been a great first half for Manchester, but can they withstand it in the second?
Yes, Manchester clearly feeding off of this local crowd here, and you've covered a lot of London Lions this season. Have you seen them be able to overcome this type of adversity?
Oh, I don't know, you're right. I have seen them a lot. One thing I do know about them, they're not going to give up. Coach Sabonis isn't going to let them. Tariq Phillip isn't going to allow that. Their captain, Obi Soko, is going to push them. So you'll see them come out. But the energy that Manchester have started this game is outstanding. Can they withstand that for another half? But you can't go 10 minutes without a bucket, Lions. I'll tell you that for free.
Well, the London Lions lucky to be down by 8. Coach Sabonis searching, playing 10 players so far this evening, but there is plenty of meat to take off the bone, so make sure you stay near as we send you over to our halftime content. Do not touch that dial.
Now boarding the train of thought.
Football. There's a lot to consider. Form guides, injuries, tactics. Here's something simple. Early payout from Boyle Sports. Go 2 goals up and you'll walk away a winner, no matter what. When your team goes 2 goals up, you win on singles, hackers, and bet builders. Back yourself at Boyle Sports, home of the early payout.
I think as an English player growing up, you never, for me at least, I never really imagined playing in England until maybe, towards the end of my career with opportunities here. But yeah, like you say, when I finished my college career and I kind of got contact from London Lions, it was kind of like an opportunity thing. I can't pass this down, to be able to play Euro Cup level, like you say, play at one of the most decorated clubs. My sister's had experience here playing a couple of years ago, and her experience, and for someone who's English to be able to play in your home country and play the level we're playing at and do that as my job is something that was, too good to not do. For me at least, I think the biggest thing is just being open-minded to everything. I think obviously the transition from being a senior in college where, you're seen as one of the older guys that's more experienced, that you've seen a lot of the college scene, to then going to be in the, first year, the rookie again, where you're kind of opened up to a whole new realm of, like you say, Tariq, J3 that played professional basketball for, 8, 9, 10 years. So I think just being open-minded, learning from loads of different people, and also just enjoy it as much as you can. I would say the biggest thing is just keep going. It's a long race. I don't think there's any shortcuts or any. I think a lot of the time people are looking for certain tips and tricks to get to where they want to go, and I think a lot of the time, from my experience at least, it's just the person that keeps going. I would say. I think I know a lot of people that maybe I was in a similar situation with them when I was 17, 18, and I kind of just kept going. I'd say there's obviously certain stuff, a lot of hard work, a lot of luck, that's gone into it. But I just think just keep going and make. I know it's kind of a bit cliche, but just, that 1% every day, add a little bit that's going to help, over 5, 10, 15 years of your career.
One in a lifetime opportunity, to come back and, like I said, I've been gone 8 years, to come back home and play in front of my city around this time. So it's a blessing, honestly. 2 minutes around the corner. I'm from Gorton originally. Started playing in high school, went to Rivalry. Would come here, play, joined Manchester Magic around like 12, 13, and then I kind of just grew up playing basketball as a junior here in the city in Manchester. So yeah, this is home to me, innit? Being here and playing for Manchester, it kind of gives me an extra edge, you know what I mean? I got a bit more fire in me, you know what I mean, to really win, because I'm back home, so I want to put on for the crowd, I want to put on for my people, you know what I mean? I want to win some games, so I feel it, I feel the energy inside of me, I feel the fire inside of me, you know what I mean? So I don't really feel no pressure being home. I just feel like, it's an opportunity just to go have fun, you know what I mean? Because this is where I grew flames, you know what I mean? So just being able to go out and show everybody who supported me growing up what I can do, and how far I've come and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a blessing. I'm looking forward to it. I was shocked, and there was so much going through my mind. Am I ready to go back home? Do I want to go back home yet? There was a lot. I definitely felt a lot of nerves. I feel like it was needed. Like I said, I've been away for 8 years, and I've had a tough time these 8 years. You know what I mean? Last year I sat out the entire year, so I had a lot of time to just reflect and just grow as a person. Basically took a year off basketball because I got injured. So then having the call to come back home was almost like a reset. You know what I mean? I was like, this is perfect timing. I get to come home, play. So yeah, there was a lot of emotion with it, especially once I decided, took me like a week or two to be like, this is actually happening, you know what I mean? I'm actually coming back home to play. Because normally I only come home for a week or two and then I'm back off, back overseas. So, having that feeling of I'm home now, you know what I mean? It was definitely there was a lot of emotion. I've still got so far to go, you know what I mean? So I know a lot of people look up to me now, so it's just it's crazy to think, you know what I mean? It's kind of humbling, you know what I mean? So, but then it makes me realize I've grown so much, and it's time to now put on for the next generation, and be that role model, you know what I mean? So it's I'm ready to kind of take that role on almost, you know what I mean? For the next generation. So yeah, it's big time.
Super League basketball is leveling up British youths. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
Welcome back to AO Arena, where Manchester basketball has put on a show in front of home fans, leading 40-32. They are 20 minutes away from doing the unthinkable, but on the other side of the coin, London Lions have their eyes on a clean sweep this season. But they got very little time to turn this thing around, where Manchester has dominated that first half. We have an incredible 20 minutes coming ahead, so we have invited a little guest to the table with Izania and I to help us break this off the bone. He once mentioned we're not underdogs, we're top dogs. LaQuincy Redon in the house. What's up, Quincy? You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Feeling real good.
Hey, well, earlier before the game, I compared Manchester to your 24 Cheshire team. Do you see some similarities between you guys?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, they're a complete team. They playing together right now. You know, they got that main guy, Jordan Johnson, stepping up, you know, doing his thing. You know, with them, they can do, like, anybody can step up and show up at any moment. So
he reminds me of LaQuincy Redon.
Yeah, indeed. And what would you say Manchester need to do to keep that energy and the foot on the pedal?
I would just say they got to keep going, you know, feeding the hot man at this moment right now. You know, play through him until if London can cut this water off, and then if not, then just keep going through him, and then Manchester will be just fine.
Lovely.
Well, we have 20 minutes of basketball remaining. We appreciate your time. Just one last question. We know that you love these big stages. Will we see your Cheshire Phoenix in London at the O2 on May 17th?
Oh, that's the goal. It's eating me up being here, but that's the goal, to be here in the finals. So.
Well, thank you for your time, LaQuincy. We will get back to the action. There his coach is right there, Ben Thomas. Imagine himself here in a couple of weeks. But let's pass the baton back over to Dan Routledge.
Thank you very much, Drew. Yes, indeed. Everybody's goal, as LaQuincy said, is to get to the O2 in May. But the goal right now for this London Lions team, and it's interesting how many of them are sat over there in conversation as opposed to out there getting some shots out. That kind of shows they're trying to turn something around. Obviously, the field goal shooting needs to go up, but they need to get some sort of rhythm in the second half.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, you know, as I looked at that first half, where do you go? Where do you get yourself going? I do think on the defensive end in that second quarter for the Lions, much better. The intensity, the energy, they have to match. You can't coach, you know, energy and enthusiasm, and you can't do that. You have to come ready, and I feel like Manchester set that tone, and then London Lions took them a little bit of time to get into it, but they're here.
The other interesting thing is, I mean, you guys talked about it at halftime, and London would have gone, we need to do a better job with Jordan Johnson in the second half, but because he comes off the bench, it's almost like, actually, you're talking about a guy you're not going to see for 5 minutes, probably.
That's such a good point. But when he was on the floor, they did a good job trying to deny him, but it didn't matter who they threw at him defensively. He found a way. We haven't seen Max Jones, get into a rhythm yet. You know, he is top 5 in SLB scoring. He only has 2 points.
And he hasn't made a field goal, Azania. Those 2 points came from the free throw line. 0 of 4, you would expect in a game of this magnitude him to have more than 4 shot attempts for starters. London have done a good job of denying him the ball, but he will want to step up here on this bigger stage, no doubt.
For sure. You know, this is his first final as a rookie, Max James, so maybe just taking a little bit time to get himself going. You have to start somewhere, you know, as a rookie. This is the big show.
Everybody gets to a final for the first time at some point.
Yeah, but for the Lions, just quickly, they've got to look after the ball. They cannot turn over the ball. That's what's really cost them. And Manchester are able to score 12 points off of their turnovers. That is a big factor in the second half. 9 turnovers.
Yeah, particularly once you get over a point per turnover, you're doing a great job. So they're set to go here at the AO Arena in Manchester. It is Manchester who lead by 8, and it is they who will get the opening possession of the second half, looking to create some history. This new club 2 years in, trying to get their first silverware against a London team that are hoping it'll be the second of 4 this season. Smith out to Adetokasi. Adetokasi drives hard and finishes through the contact, and 1 for Tim Adetokasi.
Adetokasi, how did he finish that? I thought that was a really tough shot. Look here, just the driving, the movement, that's so hard to guard. He catches it, puts it on the floor, and gets the soft touch.
Well, he was another one who until that point hadn't made a field goal, only taken 2. He's not a volume shooter. He does knock down some corner threes, but that will feel good for him to see the ball go through the hoop. He's got 2 free throws in the first half, looking for another one here now.
And this Manchester team is still really young.
Yeah.
You know, other than Shelton at 30, everyone's in that mid-25 age. They've gone into that zone that they played in the first half.
Played with effect as well. Here's McGusty, who is finding some spots in that second quarter. Shot clock getting low. Nice ball, nice movement and a pass. And Price is able to lay it home.
And the way Lions are attacking that zone is the baseline. They've hit 2 3-pointers on the baseline, and then their Price with the cut and the reverse finish.
That was a good job by Adetokasi not to hand the ball over there. It would have been a turnover. Irvin drives in, offensive foul. Brown taking the charge. They just kind of got a little lost in that offense, Manchester. Credit to London's defense, though.
Let's see if Manchester stay on the zone on the defense, or they go back to man. They have.
Here's Scott. Price. Hands it off to McGusty. McGusty finds room and is fouled from behind by Max Jones. 2 shots coming for McGusty. 3rd foul of the game on Max Jones.
It's a good job from McGusty coming off the screen from Price, then attacks the rim.
Little hesitation as well, which meant that Nicholson dropped back to his man, gave him some room, and all Jones could do was foul. McGusty rims out, but it's tipped down by Scott. McGusty can't lay it in. That'll be a hell ball, will it? Nobody wants to let go of it. You don't get any. You don't get anything bonus for holding on the ball longest. Once the whistle's gone, well, the possession arrow, obviously, as we just started the half, means London will keep it. Reynolds going the long way around, lobs it up. Price comes down with it and scores at the second attempt.
Well, that was a shot. So good catch by Price.
Jones driving in, gets his shot away. Still can't get a field goal to go. Max Jones 0 for 5 now. Brown spinning baseline, that's short. Not timed by Nicholson. London get it back. Brown is in the corner. He's got the foot speed on Nicholson and uses it to good effect.
Yeah, that's beautiful from Brown, pulling out Nicholson, but then once you put it on the floor, an excellent job from Brown.
Well, don't look now, it's a 4-point game. Manchester's lead being whittled away here in the early stages of the third. It's this end of the floor that they're struggling with. They can't get the offense ticking. Jordy Brown knew attack was the best option there, with the big man running out at him. Jones has the mismatch, shoots it himself, and well, it doesn't matter how it goes in, just that it goes in.
Yeah, finally gets his first bucket, well, field goal,
yeah.
Excuse me. And he just kind of claps to himself. That will get him going for sure.
Price runs out of real estate, throws it back. McGusty, Price for three. Got it! Ethan Price with the triple. It is a one-shot game.
Well, you spoke about Price being able to stretch the floor from the three-point line. Really nice release.
Jones now for three, and suddenly the first one goes, the second one is clean.
And that's all you need sometimes, Dan, is to see the ball go through the hoop.
Scott. McGusty drops it off to Scott, who lays it in.
This is much better basketball from Lions than the first half, really sharing the ball.
Jones, this is going up again, isn't it? Oh no, he tried to get it back to Nicholson. McGusty has Scott out in front, but Smith keeps it in play. And look at the effort from Nicholson diving on the floor.
There was no way he was going to get that, and he went for it.
Max Jones. This one sort of squeezed its way in off the backboard and the rim, but once it goes in, he's feeling good.
Yeah. He's a lefty sniper. You got to just keep shooting the ball when, you know, the way he can fill it up.
Well, that's what they pay him for, to shoot the ball. McGusty. Blocked by Nicholson. Great play. They still have it though, London. Only 7 on the shot clock. Reynolds out to McGusty. McGusty floats one up. It's short. Williams with the rebound and the putback. And a timeout is called here by Manchester. 5:55 on the clock. It is a 2-point game. London reeling them in.
Yeah, a really good start. A 12-point quarter so far for the Lions, where they struggled in the first. They must have had a fantastic or a hard talk at halftime, maybe.
I don't think it's fantastic if you're on the receiving end of it, but it's had the desired effect here. And presumably out of this timeout, having seen London start so well, Coach Horton is going to throw Johnson and Ossaboyan back out of the game. It's 4 minutes in. It's about the sort of time you start thinking about that first rotation.
Especially the way Johnson's been playing. You know what? I get you stick with your starters, but when a guy is going off from your bench, I think you start him in the second half. Or at least get him off the bench immediately, and he's not come out.
He's not come out of the out of the huddle here. Ossaboyan is into the game, but Jordan Johnson is still awaiting his time.
Yeah, so a 14-8 quarter so far. Look, there he is, 19 points, and he'll just be waiting for his name to be called.
When London come out of the huddle, their fans are on their feet. They're up and loud now. Full court pressure, but only to ensure that PJ Smith doesn't get the ball, really. Here's Jones. Circles out to Smith for three. Oh, in and out for PJ Smith. Well, London haven't led since the early stages. They'll go in front if this goes. It doesn't. Oh, it's stolen away by Scott, and he ties the scores at 48. There was an Azania t-shirt in the crowd there. Did you see that?
Yeah. Those are my
We've got to find
retirement.
that again. We've got to get a longer clip of the Azania t-shirt for sure.
Oh, gosh.
Is Jones driving through. What a rebound from Ossaboyan. Black shirts all around him. He's trying to find some room.
Travel.
And he's called for a traveling violation. There it is.
Wow.
Azania Stewart
That's vintage
t-shirt.
right there. You can't get that anymore, sweetheart. What a classic.
Well, I'm contractually obliged to mention your MVP performance in the cup final. When was that? 22,
23,
23, something like that.
Yeah, 9 for 9. Let
9
them know,
for 9
Dan.
field goal shooting.
MVP.
I was getting there. I was getting there.
That T-shirt sold out. Flew off the shelves.
Well, all 4 prints
Hey,
of it, was
stop
it?
Do you have one?
No, I don't. There is no Daniel Routledge T-shirt, that's for sure. Here's Scott for 3. Rebound is grabbed by Jones. Phillip going after the steal. As the face of someone who's not convinced that was right. He's nodding in agreement, but I don't think it's exactly what he thinks. It's only his first foul. Ossaboyan. Johnson is in the game. Brown is marshalling him, so Ossaboyan takes it. Ossaboyan is going to get called for an offensive foul. It's his second.
Yeah, just drops his shoulder into Dean Williams here. It's the right idea, but wonderful job. Look at Williams just staying on his toes, moving his feet.
Well, London can regain the lead now. A 16-8 start. And they are going to gain the lead because here's McGusty and he's fouled as well. That's going to be a bonus free throw coming for Cam McGusty.
What perfect execution. They clearly talked about it. Cam McGusty set Manchester up for the back door. Look at this. Perfectly dropped off from Phillip and the one.
Well, 2 quick fouls on Gabe Ossaboyan, so he's up to 3. Ovi Soko, we're not seeing for a long time after he got 3 fouls in the first half. Back into the action for Joel Scott, who rallies the troops behind the bench.
Especially Scott with 12 points, and he went down earlier with that ankle and has had it retaped.
Yeah,
and
looked like he wasn't coming back in when he went down. He could barely put any weight on it when he...
Those are the ones that hurt tomorrow.
Yeah. And he'll be hoping it's the head that's hurting as well after some celebrations. It is the Lions now in front. Johnson, Soko harassing him. Johnson gets past him, and Soko will go back to the bench, I think, because that's his 4th personal foul.
Yeah, and good job from McGusty saying, you've done your job. Lead him into the paint and we'll help defense. Don't need to foul him.
Well, they're going to leave him out there. There's still 14 minutes to go in this final. Smith returns for Adetukasi. Shelton, it's through his hands, but it comes right to Ossaboyan. Here's Johnson squaring up for 3s, missed one. Didn't miss too many in the first half. He was 7 of 10 at halftime. Phillip behind the back to Williams. Foul off the ball. Is that on Ossaboyan? Because if it is, that's his 4th.
I think it's on Shelton.
No, it's on Shelton. You're right. Good spot. They're over the limit, though, so it's going to be free throws. So that was the 3rd now. So Shelton joins Jones, Ossaboyan, Irvin, and Nicholson on 3. Soko is the only one in any sort of trouble at the other end. He's on 4. Second one is good. Soko will sit down now after that 4th foul. Joel Scott returns.
Quick.
Yeah. Well, they left him an extra play, didn't they, on 4 fouls. Ossaboyan. Hands off to Johnson. Johnson again, dancing with Williams. Trying to find some room, gets the shot away. They've done a great job on him that time. That's going to be on Osaboyan with a big slap down. That's going to be the 4th personal foul on Gabe Osaboyan.
Yeah, much better defense that time. Johnson in the first half, you know, took his time on the one-on-one, trying to find an avenue, a lane, found it this time, not so much, but then this foul.
These are the ones you don't need, Z.
Yeah.
He's so important to this team. He can't help them on the bench. You just think they've got the ball. You're not going to come away with it. Let him go and don't take that risk.
So
That's
now,
it is.
yeah.
Williams walks the court for 2.
Yeah, Manchester are going to have to manage these fouls through this quarter. Maybe we might see some more zone to protect it.
Well, London, who couldn't score in the first quarter, have been pretty hot in this quarter. 20 points in this period. This would equal their second quarter total.
Yeah, and kept Manchester under 10.
3:22 to go.
And the full court press.
21-8 in this period. Johnson, Smith running the baseline.
Wow.
Spins back the other way. And Cheval Reynolds is called for the foul.
Smith Jr. though, that was a full court sprint to come over to get the ball. Excellent job. And just got Cheval Reynolds Jr. in a bit of a mix-up.
Lobbed into Nicholson. Nicholson back out to Johnson. Johnson splits between the defenders, gets all the way to the rim and spins it in off the glass.
Impressive, honestly. That's what I was saying. How long do you leave him on the bench for? As he moves to 21 points.
Reynolds out to Rye. Back to Reynolds. Reynolds short. Great rebound from Williams. Reynolds out to Williams. Launches the 3 and hits. Dean Williams with the triple.
Really good job from Dean Williams to stretch the floor. And the patient, you can't call a timeout.
What's he doing?
You can't call a timeout. It's so American.
Turned to the referee and said timeout.
You can't do that here.
You can run the baseline. He was standing there like he couldn't move. He tried to call a timeout on the baseline, which you can do in college basketball, but you can't do in FIBA ball.
So the turnover there from the Lions.
On a 5-second violation. Whoa, Williams had to reach for that. Williams drives in and a miscommunication there. He thought Rye was going baseline. Rye was fading towards the corner.
Still, Lions, though, you're not pressing to trap or anything, but just making it a little bit difficult for Manchester to bring the ball up.
Williams called for the foul. London with their biggest lead of the game right now, although Jordan Johnson will get a chance to pull it back down to 4 from the free throw line. Well, there's a lot of chatter and wandering about and all of that. Now we'll take the free throws.
definitely feel the home court advantage.
Cranking up.
Yeah.
And 2 more to the tally of Jordan Johnson. He's the only Manchester player in double figures with 23. Scott out to Rye. His 3 is off the mark, and Scott can't quite keep it in play. It's a Manchester ball.
There's that zone I was talking about from Manchester with that foul trouble. Trying to protect themselves. And then here's this press.
Adam Takasi is the release man here. And he brings it forward. Adam Takasi still has it. Spinning one way, then the other, and finishing well off the glass.
Excellent move, Shelton there, loves it. A double spin. Middle of the key is wide open.
Phillip looking now for 3. Short, that will go all the way out of bounds and will be a Manchester ball. Well, Tim Adekasi got the ball, looked to give it away, couldn't find anybody to give it to, so he said, oh, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, and just danced around and found a lovely angle.
Oh, Manchester moments ago were down 6, can tie the scores, they can go in the lead, they do go in the lead. Jordan Johnson again, 26 points for him, and Manchester are back on top.
What an absolute bomb from Johnson. That was deep, pretty far from the 3-point line, and he has shown up, showed out, and is here on the big stage, playing really well.
Well, we were wondering how long you could leave it without putting him back on. I don't think they're going to be taking him out anytime soon. Look at this one, from miles out for 3, but he turned around, he saw the defender was 4 feet, 5 feet, maybe even further back, and he said, have some of that.
Yeah, drops it in, and right back in it. Excellent shot, honestly. And because of the confidence of that first half, he's willing, and he's got the green light, right? If I'm coach, I'm saying, hey, go ahead.
Well, as I say, a few moments ago, it just felt like London had got a stranglehold on this game. Manchester was struggling to score. London, first of all, reeled them in, then got in front, went up by as many as 6, but Jordan Johnson said, this is my game. I'm dragging my team back into it.
Well, excellent job, and just managing moments now, isn't it? Because multiple players are on a good couple of fouls for both teams. You can stay out of foul trouble, keep them off the line. This is going to go down to the wire in the 4th, for sure.
Well, we were talking about MVP picks earlier. If Manchester win it, we've got a pretty easy pick today.
But on the other side,
it might be a bit of a challenge. If London were to win this game, again, it's a spread performance from them, as we see so often. 47 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. London suddenly behind again. McGusty out to Reynolds. Reynolds to the runner is good.
Nice. Reynolds needed that offensively for himself. He scored, 4 points this evening.
Well, it was he that hit the shots late on in their win at Manchester. Johnson looking for 3 again. No, that one had a good old think before coming out. Reynolds gets it back from Williams, 4 on the clock. Reynolds, he needs to shoot here, he doesn't see the clock, and London run out of time. Brown didn't see the clock either. He turned around and was like, what's that? It's the end of the quarter. London have come back from 15 down in the first half. They led by 6 here in the second, but the advantage is only 1. 10 minutes to play here at the AO Arena. It is London Lions 58, Manchester Basketball 57, right in the balance seat.
Well, what a quarter for the Lions. You know, first half couldn't really get themselves going. They win that 26-17, and the percentages finally start to make their way up.
Both would like to make a few more than 5 3-pointers in this game. That could be the way to win it if one of them can get hot from behind the arc.
Yeah, but the rebounding game has been excellent for the London Lions at 38-26. Also the assist, 17-6. London Lions getting themselves, sharing his game. You're in? Yes.
Just to pick you up on that rebounding, 15 of those 38 are at the offensive end. They have 13 second chance points. London, Manchester have no second chance points.
Well, when you got Johnson on your team.
Yeah, don't miss it. It's a good way, but
hasn't been many.
But what a start to the second half. Exactly what London needed coming out of the half. They had to get a good start, get some momentum, feeling good about their offense, and they certainly did that. And they turned the heat up defensively to get back in front.
Yeah, right from the beginning too. Multiple guys got involved, McGusty, but it was their defense started to get them going. But we're going into the fourth, and there's not much in it. 1 point.
Well, 10 minutes to decide it here in Manchester. London with one trophy in the cabinet. They're so far clear at the top of the standings that you can't see them not pretty soon wrapping up the league title. They got a lot of games to still to play. They seem to be playing them right now. I think it's 5 of the 6 games in a row against our London games.
Yeah, because there's 4 trophies to go and get. They got the trophy.
They got the trophy.
Today's the cup, and then regular season of the championship, and then the playoffs. So 4 bits of silverware on offer and to win in the SLB.
Well, it's been a while since anybody did the clean sweep in top flight British basketball. Newcastle, who did it 3 times. The last. Cheshire and Kingston, the other 2 teams to have done the sweep. It's Manchester's possession as we get it underway in the fourth quarter. They trail by 1. So many games coming down to the end. Here's Johnson again. Short this time. Great rebound from Scott. That's lobbed down to Brown, and he lays it in for 2.
That's a good job from Brown to run the floor and pin Johnson deep under the basket. Did his work early.
Well, we talked about his pre-game comments. He's starting to deliver on those as well. Smith bails out of that elbow jumper, gets it to Adetukasi. 5 on the clock. Adetukasi trying to find some room, gets the shot away and hits a 3.
That's massive, especially with Scott in his face. That's a tough shot, defense right there.
Levels the scores at 60. McGusty gets it back from Phillip. Here's Tariq Phillip looking to reply with 3 of his own. Overcooked. Johnson pulls in the rebound. First rebound of the game for him. He's done it all at this end. He's looking for 2 more. Rebound Nicholson. There's some second chance points for Manchester. Their 7th offensive rebound. The first time they put it back for 2.
Good job from the big fella there. Just using his size in the right place. In the zone still, 2-3.
McGusty. Around it comes to Phillip. Ball deflected. 5 on the clock. Phillip into the key. Fires it up high off the mark. Ball is loose. Johnson has it. Has Irvin with him. Here is Irvin. Traveled with it. The fans didn't hear the whistle. They were up and cheering, but there was a walk before he got the ball on the floor from Zach Irvin.
And this is the difference in the game, right? This is the great defense and better offense shot. But the difference in the game in European and American game is you've got to get that ball down quickly. You can't get up and start running before the ball goes down. And when I was playing in Australia, they taught me the throw down. When you throw the ball down quickly, then you can get to moving.
Here's Scott in the middle, out to Phillip. Round to Brown Jr. looking for three, back iron. Ball is batted about, Manchester come up with it. Johnson trying, good, stolen away, and a big collision by Irvin on Phillip. Great play from Phillip in the first place. And Zach Irvin was sliding our way, Azania.
Yeah, I wasn't going to catch him.
No, we'd have both ducked out of the way.
But great hands from Phillip to intercept that pass.
Scott at the high post, spinning, gets it to Price. McGusty, is that a 3? No, it's a 2. It misses everything anyway. Manchester by a couple. Johnson looking to cook, and he's just grabbed there. Wanted to asking the unsportsmanlike question. I think it's just the right side of the line. But he wasn't fancying himself in that matchup, Ethan Price. It's a fair enough regular foul. It's always a bit of a risk when you hang on at the end. Oh, missed free throw.
Free throws are going to be important, especially as we start to come down to the finishing touches. He just takes a deep breath and takes his time here.
Makes the second. Manchester's lead is now 3. Phillip. Round to Scott, back to Phillip. In the corner is McGusty. McGusty stumbling his way through.
Adedekasi with his 3rd foul.
Scott. Back to McGusty for 3. He ties the scores at 63.
I knew that was going down at his feet, set ready to lock and load. Buries it.
Johnson driving, scooping is blocked. Great defense from Williams. McGusty to Scott on the trail. Back out to Williams.
Walked into a big wall.
Scott at the top of the key. Rebound by Phillip, and he's caught by Jones, and I think that's his 4th foul. They are in all sorts of foul trouble here, Manchester. Max Jones, Gabe Osaboyan, Zach Irvin, all on 4 fouls.
With 6 minutes and 24 seconds still to go. They're going to have to go to their bench. Smith,
well, they're protecting Irvin first. They're like, Irvin's had a couple of plays since he got his 4th foul. It was that one on Phillip. So Jones can last a couple of plays. Scott, around it comes to McGusty. 6 on the shot clock. McGusty to Scott for 3. He hits the triple. London back on top.
Buries that one and just looks at his bench. That's a big hit. Sorry, quick one. Henry on the Manchester bench, Dan, in his street clothes. That's interesting.
Well, he went down in the first half. He's obviously had injury problems all season. Jones driving into the finger roll, just goes for Max Jones.
Lovely move from Jones with the shot clock running down. Gets a soft touch.
Well, gathering of breath here with 5:46 to go in a one-point game. Manchester won at the death the last time they played in London. London won at the death the last time they played in Manchester, and Dean Williams hits a three.
And right now it's raining threes because of that zone as they call a timeout. Their defense is getting sucked into the paint and they're kicking it out where, you know, London Lions were kind of struggling from the three-point line, now starting to heat up with no defense in your face. Most professional basketball players can knock that down.
Well, it feels like a big lead at 4 points, doesn't it? Dean Williams with a tremendous defensive play. Max Jones somehow off balance, able to lay it home, and then Dean Williams making it a 4-point game here, 5.5 to go. Jordan Johnson absolutely dominating the scoring with 27 points. London doing it by committee as they almost always do. I can't really think of a game other than Scott in the first few weeks of the season where you've got one guy who's going for 25, 30.
Yeah, I think just as we come into the last 5 minutes or so, Dan, I think it's the fouls for Manchester. How can they manage them? As the kiss cam is going on. Wow.
Manchester wandering out on court. We were slightly distracted by an enthusiastic couple in the kiss cam.
Lovely. Well, anyway, all love in Manchester, but who is going to get this huge win and bragging rights and to lift this cup final trophy? 5.5 minutes to go.
Ossaboyan back to Jones. Two of the Manchester players on 4 fouls. They could do with a bit of Max Jones magic here, Manchester. He takes it to the rim. Oh, it bobbles out. Ball is loose. London have it. How on earth did that come out?
It was almost halfway down. He has been more aggressive, though, in this second half.
Scott stumbling his way through. Throws it back to Phillip. Phillip is fouled by Smith. That's only his third.
Fourth
team foul. It's a long way to go. 4:54. 4:55, sorry, on 14 fouls. McGusty around the screen. Kicks it out. Brown Jr., big shot. Misses the three. Smith clutches the rebound. Smith. Back to Johnson. Poked away by Johnson, and Phillip has it. Phillip takes it to the rim. What a play from Tariq Phillip.
What a big play as he roars in Brown Jr.'s face. Incredible moment for him.
Jones.
Good defense.
Short. And London have the momentum here with 4 minutes to play. This could be their biggest lead of the game if they score here. McGusty calls for the screen. Drives in, back to Williams. Williams puts it on the floor. Ossaboyan does everything he can to deny that shot. And Williams is going to get called for the foul. Smith did some inventive play there to ensure that he got there first and was able to draw the foul.
Dean Williams, this is a great way to just catch your breath here for a moment, but great hands from Tariq Phillip, and then the beautiful finish to keep off Johnson, and there was the celebration with Brown Jr.
Wow, they haven't managed to keep the ball out of his hands too many times, Jordan Johnson, but that was a big play from Tariq Phillip. This is an important moment here for Manchester. Down by 6. They kind of need a score here with 3:44 to go. Johnson. Johnson back to Irvin. Irvin floats one, misses everything, and another stop for London. And they're in no rush now. They need to get over the halfway line, but apart from that, Coach Sabonis was slowing them down rather than speeding them up. McGusty backs away for three. Surely that's a dagger for Cam McGusty.
Massive, huge hit from McGusty.
Williams commits the foul, but what a shot for McGusty. So much of the season he's been watching with injury, but here on the big stage in the final, he hits a big shot with 3.5 to go.
And a really good job to get behind that three-point line.
Jones to reply. Max Jones says this one isn't done yet.
What a great answer from Jones. You know, we called on him, where have you been in the first half, and he showed up in this second.
They need to stop Manchester with 2:46 to go. McGusty floats one up and
feeling it.
He is certainly taking over here down the stretch.
Does such a good job putting the brakes on, getting the defense on his back. He's got 17.
Well, Jones got so far into that Irvin was going for the rebound. He didn't realize the pass was coming his way. Well, a score now, and London have a double-figure lead for the first time. McGusty looking for it. In and out. Still time for Manchester. Johnson fakes the three, drives in instead, doesn't get it to go. Scott with the rebound, and he clutches the ball. They've got numbers here. McGusty will take his time.
Smart move from McGusty.
Phillip. Back to Williams. Williams grabbed by Irvin. It's a shot clock violation. Didn't get that one away in time.
The refs really letting these two teams play. It's been so physical. It's been a dogfight. You can see how exhausted each player is. Guys on their knees trying to catch their breath for this last minute and 40.
Johnson. Still Johnson. Denied. Well, they're into must score every time down territory, Manchester. Into Irvin. Jones. Out to Johnson. Johnson for three, cuts it to 5. Timeout is called by Coach Sabonis. And Jordan Johnson with 30 points in a final. The first player in a British top flight final to go for 30 since Ricky McGill for Plymouth against London. That was in the COVID season. There was nobody there to see it.
Well, one player you can't leave open, Lions, is Johnson. He's been on fire. Look how he just floats to that corner and lets it fly. Massive hit. Wow, Dan. Because the thing is, the last time they played, 2 weeks ago that they played?
Yeah.
And London Lions were up 14 and Manchester pushed.
Reeled them in the fourth quarter.
Yep, and got that game by 171-72. Where today Manchester have really, first half controlled the energy in the scoreboard. Second half, the third quarter, London Lions come out with their punch. And now we're here into the fourth.
You still feel like Manchester need to stop on this play, though, because let's face it, London are going to try and take 20 seconds off the clock. So Manchester will get the ball back with a minute to go. If they get the ball back down 7 with a minute to go,
it's hard.
It's a lot to do.
Difficult, and what Lions are doing really well is taking their time on the offensive end. They're not rushing. They're using the shot clock and taking a shot in the last, 3 to 4. They had an a shot clock violation, didn't they, in that last one?
It's into Scott, back to Phillip, the veteran GB international who's Played a lot of big games in his career, knows how to see them out. Here he is with the ball in his hands. Brown, now they've got to start to think about to go. McGusty does go, and McGusty from the elbow.
Big right now. McGusty has stepped up offensively.
Johnson out to Aditya. Is blocked by Scott. A huge defensive play. The bench love that.
That is an outstanding job from Joel Scott to hustle his way all the way over there and block that shot.
The horn has gone. Nobody could hear it. The horn had gone.
Timeout.
Manchester have called a timeout 50 seconds to go because they have to score here. They have to score here. A 3 would be nice, but they've got to get the ball in the basket.
Yeah, they have to score quickly and then a defensive turn. Here we go. Here's the block from Scott.
Oh, Aditya doesn't get blocked on those too often, but Joel Scott recovering brilliantly from 1 foot in the paint to the 3-point line to smash it away.
That's massive, you know, defensive plays. You have to figure out a way to stop Manchester. They've been excellent. But really, the defense on the other end, for London Lions in this second half has really, they've turned up the heat.
Well, Manchester just 31 second half points. Sideline ball. It's an awkward spot down in the corner.
Where are they? Oh yeah, in the corner there.
Well, it is London voices that are echoing around the AO Arena. Jones gets open. Jones heaves up a 3, doesn't go. It's tipped down. London with the rebound. And Aditya commits the foul. His 4th, team 5th. So it'll be 2 free throws for London. Wow. Philip will walk the length of the court. Manchester kind of need him to miss both of these, really. And the boos rain down to try and put him off. Oh, first one out of thing. You just think about the number of shots in this second half that have done that and come out for Manchester at the other end.
Two big free
makes
throws.
them both, as you would expect of a man of his experience. He's a gamer. Jones gets past his man, drops it off and laid in by Irvin. But the clock is against them here. London trying to play keep away, not allow a foul. Johnson eventually manages to commit one. But they're into foul mode here, and it so very rarely plays out from a position like this where you're down by 7. You need the other team to miss free throws. Phillips, 78% shooter on the season. Well, he's missed one. It's still 3 possessions between them, no matter what happens. He makes the second. Johnson, what a game he's had. Looks like it will be in vain, but one of the great final appearances for sure. Looking for 3 more. Doesn't go. London with the rebound, and Manchester will back it off. London are going to make it 2 titles from 2. The sweep is on for London. They talk their talk and they walk their walk. Oh, and there's a bit of a fight to go on here. Jones and McGusty get involved. The bench is clear. There's going to be disqualifications here at the end of the final. Everybody who's come off the bench is going to be disqualified. It's benches at both sides. Well, we said there was some bad blood coming in, and there is some bad blood here at the end of the final. I didn't quite see what started it off. The referee's trying to gain control, and Jones has thrown the ball. He's going to get ejected, by the way. I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
The referees are going to have to work out who to throw out.
Gosh, we were only 7.8 seconds away, but...
Well, there's a lot of people, I think, going to be sent off to the locker room here, because basically the bench is cleared, and everybody who's on the bench in a fight situation, which that was, who leaves the bench is disqualified.
Yeah.
It's only the coach and the first assistant if they go. So let's have a look. What's happened? McGusty's talking his talk. He's got a technical. Then it's a push from Max Jones.
Yeah.
And then everybody you see running out here is going to be disqualified. Every single one of them. Anybody who's not on the court. So it's basically the whole Manchester bench and most of London's bench. It's how the referees work all this out.
Well, we knew it, right? We talked about it at the start of the game, that just the last game that they played each other, it finished with fiery conversations, a bit of shoving, a bit of pushing. So both these teams came in with that on their chest, and it's boiled over here, and it's unfortunate because really an excellent final, an excellent cup final here.
Well, the other thing is, they're all going to get disqualified, so they're all going to have to leave the arena and then come back in for the medals. It's sort of... So here we go. Watch McGusty. He's over there talking his talk. I think to Osaboyan, who was the one talking last week. Jones didn't like that.
Yeah.
Then, as I say, everybody who runs on the court is a DQ by rule. So they're going to... The problem is they have to work out... The referees, their first job is to try and curtail the potential fight. The second job is to go, right, who deserves to be disqualified from this?
But it's so messy.
Yeah, it
and
is.
like you said, you send everyone for 7.8 seconds, and then you got to all come back on the floor. Well,
I don't think they'll be shaking hands after the medals are handed out, for sure.
Absolutely not.
Well, it's a lot to work out here for the officials.
Yeah.
And if these two teams were to meet in the playoffs, it would, I'm sure, carry over there.
Extra security is needed. And you can see here they're trying
Coach Sabonis was already celebrating, then suddenly he's like, what's going on? And he's gone in to try and break it up.
Yeah, he got right in the middle.
Shelton's in there. Well, it's all the usual suspects when it comes to the fiery side of the game.
Well, we knew this was going to be an entertaining final.
Well, I think the referees are trying to work out who was on court, because basically both benches cleared. Well, he's going to call the two coaches over. There's foul technical on McGusty, unsportsmanlike on Max Jones. And the coaches, I think everybody's been disqualified.
Yeah.
I think basically they said anybody who wasn't on the court has been disqualified. And to be fair, it looked to me
Everyone
like
emptied
everybody
out.
was on the court.
Yeah.
And once you come on the court, that's it. There's no, well, I was trying to break it up, that I was trying to do this or that.
Yeah.
Everybody is disqualified. That is the rule. It's been the rule for, well, I don't remember it not being the rule.
Yeah.
It's always been the rule. If you leave the bench, I can remember a game in the 80s where I saw players disqualified for exactly that. So you all got to go, I'm afraid.
What a wild finish to this game. And it's the right call. You have to leave the floor.
Well, they're all getting high fives on the way out. Even Matthew Goodwin's been disqualified. He wasn't even on the roster by the looks of it. So it's just the 5 players left for London, and Manchester will have to do the same. They've all been disqualified.
And will there be free throws as well from the technical of Magusti?
You know what? Because they're not the same.
Yeah.
I think there will be 1 free throw for the technical and 2 free throws for the unsportsmanlike.
But those will
all the
disqualifications
cancel each other out, because it just goes down as 1 coach technical in that regard. So they all wipe each other out. But the original incident, because one's a technical and one's an unsportsmanlike foul, they have different values. So I think it will be 1 free throw and then 2 free throws. Well, the Manchester players are starting to go. Interestingly, Babalola is on court, so I can only assume he didn't leave the bench.
He knew what he was doing. He said, I wanted to play. He said, I'm
come on for an appearance. So if I'm right, it'll be 1 free throw for the technical for a Manchester player, and then 2 free throws for the unsportsmanlike for Magusti, it should be, because he was the one that was pushed. So Jordan Johnson will get a chance for a 31st point.
Oh, he's letting
Babalola shoot it. Fair enough. And Demi Babalola, who's not actually played a second, might get a point before he's got any time.
Wow.
Doesn't happen often.
It doesn't. You're right. He hasn't played any minutes. And he buries
We'll
the
end
free
up with
throw.
7.8 seconds. Should be 2 free throws now for Magusti, which it is.
That's also a rare occasion, right?
Yeah. He's had a big 4th quarter, by the way, Cam Magusti.
Yeah. Honestly, that's 20 points for Magusti. Leads all scorers, make it 21.
Leads all scorers for London.
Excuse me, for London. Excuse me.
Presumably, they'll just inbound the ball and dribble it out now. There's no point in anything else. Well, a frantic and a bizarre end, but as the buzzer will sound, it is Cam Magusti with the ball, and it is London who've made it 2 from 2. They are the cup champions, and the rest of the players can return to the floor now to celebrate.
Well, they did talk the talk, they walked the walk, and it wasn't easy, but they figured out a way to get it done. They dug deep because Manchester pushed them, especially in that first half. Dan, I thought, wow, here comes Manchester, but London Lions was able to withstand that storm, and they get the job done.
Well, the interesting thing is the rest of the Manchester players have now walked off. There is nobody left from Manchester other than the coaching staff out there, and obviously we have the medal presentation still to do, so that will be interesting to see whether somebody can get them back out onto court, but London won't care. As I said at the start, they talk their talk, but they've delivered it here this afternoon.
Yeah, you know, it takes a lot of, I'm going to say big basketballs to say that type of energy that they brought to this cup final. They said, we're better, our coaches are better, and at the end of the day, they got it done. It's very, what's the right word? You know, when you're...
bravado? I don't know.
Yeah, just really.
Well, the other thing is, we talked about Chaundy Brown. He had 12 points. He had 6 rebounds. He had 3 assists. He was plus 25. They were 25 points better when he was on the court.
Yeah.
So he delivered on what he was talking about.
He was the main culprit. Big energy is what they brought, and they showed up and got it done. And they talked about the sweep.
They've talked about it, and they've got halfway there. They're almost a third of the way there, but they have got the celebrations now. Let's get some reaction. Alex is with Joel Scott.
Joel, a massive victory. You guys were down 15 points at one stage. What did coach say at the half to get you guys back into that?
You know, we knew what we needed to do from the get-go. It was just doing our things, doing the little things, playing with energy, and, you know, this team did it. It was little by little we chipped away, and we just followed the game plan, and, you know, we couldn't have done it any better and got the dub.
You came out in that third quarter, a couple of monster plays from yourself. Do you really kind of enjoy that leadership role, you know, putting the team on your back?
You know, I don't think it's putting my team on my back. I think they trust me to do what I need to do, and I trust them to do what they do. And, you know, that's the best part about this team is that anyone can go off at any point and any night. And, you know, that's why we're so special, and we think we can do big things.
And I got to ask, you talk about big things. That's 2 in the bag now, 2 to go. Can you complete the quadruple?
You know, we're not even thinking that yet. We're on to the next game. Next game SLB, we're going to enjoy this one and then move on to the next one.
Joel, thanks very much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Well, that's the answer I normally expect, but they have talked about it. It isn't my imagination. They have talked about it.
Humble pie, indeed.
But that's normally what a team would do. Let's get some more reaction. Coach Sabonis is now with Alex.
Coach, I'm not sure how you sum up that. Is the biggest emotion relief, pride, or how do you sum up that performance?
Pride. We dug ourselves a little hole, and we came back doing what we know best, playing defense. So I'm very happy for my guys. I want to give a shout out to my wife that I love you so much, my daughter, my son, and a big shout out also to Artem. We're there for you. We love you, all right?
And at the half, you know, 8 points down, you made a couple of adjustments. Your boys came out fighting in that third quarter on defense. They really showed their heart today.
Exactly. They understood that without doing what we do every day, without playing the defense that we do, we are not a good team. And when we do that, we're an amazing team.
And I asked Joel, he didn't want to get drawn into it. Look, that's 2 trophies in the bag now. There's still 2 up for grabs. You're fighting for both of them. Can this London Lions become something really historical this season?
We'll see. Again, I stay to my roots. You know, you go game by game. Now we got to celebrate, and then we got Sheffield.
Coach, thanks very much.
Well, he wouldn't be drawn into it as well, but it is there for them. As I say, the league title is surely only a matter of weeks away. They've got the cushion, they've done the hard work, so then they can turn their focus to the playoffs. But right now they can turn their focus to the medal presentation. And, well, Manchester have not made it back. So Manchester are not there to receive their runners-up medals. So we will only have one half of the presentation. I'm not sure I've seen that anywhere in any sport, ever.
Ever. But just going back to the Lions, that second half was tremendous. They held Manchester to 17 points, both in that third and fourth. They outscored them both quarters. It was just a different half of basketball, wasn't it? They came out of that half time and just excelled.
Well, that was the thing. We were wondering where the offense was going to come from at stages in that game for London. They ended up with 5 guys in double figures.
Yeah, they did. And multiple guys. And me and Drew talked about at the start of the broadcast. They have so many weapons. Joel Scott goes for 15 points. Brown Jr. 12. Phillip, massive points with 12. And then also McGusty with 21s and Dean Williams with 11. So who do you stop? You know?
That was the question. And really, actually, McGusty coming up with some big shots in that fourth quarter as well. Struggled a little early on to get that shot going, but down the stretch, he seemed to knock it down every time it touched his hands.
Absolutely, and with those 6 rebounds and 7 assists. So in that first half where he was struggling a little bit on the scoring end, he was still dishing off those dimes. Here comes Manchester. Dan?
Oh yeah, Manchester are making their way back out now, or at least a couple of them are. Few of them have already got changed. But I think it's too late for the presentation.
Yeah,
I think we've already gunned out the winners' medals.
Yeah.
So I don't think it much matters. But a few of them, at least, some of them, are making their way back out. But there's no point in doing it after the other team has got their medals. Well, the only presentation left to be made is that of the most valuable player of the cup final.
With 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 21 points, the number 20.
The MVP, unsurprisingly, for a big fourth quarter and a massive performance overall. His season has been curtailed by injuries, but when it mattered the most in the final, he was there to deliver, and the golden basketball is his. 21 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, plus 26. They were 26 points better off when he was on the court. A huge impact for Cam McGusty.
Excellent, honestly, excellent job from McGusty in the fourth especially.
Well, the only thing left to do is to receive the trophy. Quick pose for the cameras. Ovi Soko has it in his hands. 2 trophies are in the bag now. The 2026 Cup champions are the London Lions. And the ticker tape flies here in Manchester for London. They're halfway there to the clean sweep. They've got the 2 knockout competitions in the season. The league title is close, and then the playoffs will await them, and they will feel that nobody will be able to stop them. They've come up here, they've played in Manchester. Most of the crowd was against them, and they saw it through.
This is a huge win for them, you know, for them to bounce back in that first half to the second, and it was a fight. It wasn't easy. I love what Manchester did though, really pushed them till the very end. An excellent game to be a part of and commentate with you, Dan.
Well, you just kind of wish it had finished 8 seconds earlier, don't you? So we didn't have to go through all the silliness at the end. But it was a tremendous day for the London Lions. They will have another evening of celebration, another medal to add to the cabinet. They will, I'm sure, enjoy this one probably even more than they did the first one, given everything that went on at the end there and given the team that they were playing. Let's throw it back courtside. Drew, you've got a special guest.
Yes, we do. We're here with the MVP, Cam McGusty. Cam, I want you to dive deep for me. During those dark times when you were out with injury, what did you pull, what did you lean on to allow you to come out here tonight and perform on the biggest stage?
Honestly, just the trust in my teammates and my rehab process. You know, I decided I was going to take it day by day and just use this time to maximize, you know, my body, get into shape, and use the time to, like, you know, recover and stuff, because, you know, we had a long Euro Cup season, and we played like 10 SLB games, so I just wanted to recuperate and come back stronger than I was before.
And how big did you guys have to dig deep in that halftime? What did you guys talk about to come out in the second?
Yeah, you know, throughout the season, I feel like for the most part we've been a second half team. So being down 13 is nothing that we haven't seen before, and it just is a testament to our character and the type of team we are.
And Manchester, they tested you tonight. What was the moment? What was the turning point that you knew that you can turn this game around?
Honestly, when we were in the locker room and we were together, nobody was complaining, nobody was yelling at each other. We kind of looked at each other like, hey, we've been here before. We know how to climb through the adversity, and that's what we've been doing all season. So, you know, we just trusted each other, trusted our coaches and our staff, and here we are now.
Well, would you say that this is a legitimate rivalry between you guys in Manchester? I mean, I'm just saying, that's what it feels like from the sideline.
I mean, look, man, we come out every day, we work hard at practice, and we come out and compete every night. We didn't throw the first shot, we just finished it, so
hey, that's so
we
what
got you know, we just here to win, to play. I'm sure we'll see them again. They're a great team, great coach, they're greatly coached, have great players, so you know, I'm sure we probably gave them some ammunition, so looking forward to seeing them again.
Well, finally, before we let you out of here, I don't want a PC answer. Will the London Lions finish the job and get the clean sweep this year?
Of course, that's been our goal the whole season. Go 3-0 and win all 3 championships. So, look forward to it. I think the championships game, May 16th or 17th, something like that. So
and then the playoffs.
Obviously, we're a humble team. I'm a humble guy, but yeah, of course, we expect to win all 3 championships.
There it is, Cam McGusty, the MVP. Go celebrate, man. Appreciate your time, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Wow, well, there is a lot to unpack there, Z, but there is one thing for sure. The SLB in its 2nd year of existence, there is for sure a rivalry here on hand.
I really love it. I love the intensity. I love the fight. He was a bit humble there, a bit too humble for my liking, but he was fantastic, especially in that second half where he was struggling in the first with his offense. He was dropping dimes, he was getting rebounds, but then this step back is clean, knocks it down, and that really pushed their momentum. But we talked about their scorers and their killers. They had multiple guys in double digits.
And what part of London Lions for you personally was the difference tonight for them to turn this game around?
You know what? I think it was their energy. I felt in the first half kind of, weren't...
A little flat,
weren't competing. Manchester were diving on the floor. They were sacrificing their bodies. After that halftime, and they came out, then that momentum switched.
Yeah, one thing you mentioned in regards to Manchester, and I agree with you, leaving Jordan on the bench in the second half, I'm starting him, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, start him. He was balling. What did he have, 25? He finished with 30, right? You leave him on the bench, I start him. I bring that energy. He's the hot hand. He's the green delight. So a bit of a mistake, and maybe a coach will look back at that and change that next time.
Yeah, maybe a mistake by Manchester basketball, but the city has certainly held down the fort here in the city. And just take us back, because you've celebrated many times before. What will the London Lions be feeling right now?
Oh, I think a bit of relief.
Of course.
Because I think they really got pushed. But they can really celebrate, because I think they had to work hard for that. And when you can do it as a team, you can really, they'll have a couple of champagnes or beers. What we deserve as well.
We're heading to the northern quarter after this for sure. Not before we take a look at that schedule and see when the next matchup between both of these teams is happening. But this is not the end of the road. There is still plenty of basketball to be played in the SLB. Make sure you come along for the ride, specifically May 17th in London for the O2 for the playoff finals. Make sure that you lock in. But for the city of Manchester, the SLB, everyone behind the scenes to make this happen. Thank you to you all. Congratulations to the winners today, London Lions and the Sheffield Hatters. But for myself, Azania and Stewart, we will say goodbye for now, and we'll see you at the O2.